Today, we are going to present a webinar on the Bank of Bhutan, National Economy and Banking Environment. Today's presentation will be a 60 minutes presentation featuring Dorji Kadin, currently the CEO of Bank of Bhutan. My name is Ming Moreno, Deputy Secretary and Treasurer of the ABA, and it's a pleasure for me to hold this session where Mr. Kadin, a very esteemed and good friend of the Asian Bankers Association, a board member of the association, will explain the current situation in terms of economics and also in the banking area of Bhutan. I think this webinar will be very educational and interesting for those who think about the current situation in Bhutan and the prospects of investment. So now, I would like to say a few words about Mr. Dorji Kadin. As I mentioned before, Dorji Kadin is the CEO of Bank of Bhutan, the largest bank in Bhutan. He's also a board member of ABA, very much respected among members of the board in the association. Mr. Kadin started his career in the Bhutan Telecom, where he worked for more than 17 years. Then around the year 2013, he moved to Bank of Bhutan, where he has held very important positions, starting from chief of the corporate strategy, also in the director of the corporate services, and now in recent years as the CEO of Bank of Bhutan. So he is very well prepared and knows the current situations in Bhutan, and we expect that the audience today will have the opportunity to ask questions to a person that knows very well the environment in Bhutan. So now, without further ado, I would like to pass the controls to my friend, Dorji Kadin.
Thank you, Mick, for introducing me in detail. It's my distinct honor to welcome you all to this presentation. First and foremost, I'll start with Bhutan as a country, as the background of this presentation. Then I will deep dive into the financial system of the country, and finally about the Bank of Bhutan's progress and performance. And probably before we end, I look forward to opening up key areas for investment opportunities in Bhutan. I look forward to very interactive session so that we take the learning and try to see how we can collaborate. I'll briefly mention about the country Bhutan itself, because I am sure and assuming that most of the audience may not be aware of where Bhutan is. It's a very small country, measuring about 38,000 square kilometers, with China bordering the north and the rest of the borders bordered by India in the south. So we have very big giants as our neighbors. So that gives us very strategic location for any kind of opportunities. Talking about demographics, we have only 700,000+ people, not even 1 million. And the constitution of this population is 52% male and 48% female as of 2022. And estimated is all the same as of now. This is just the pictorial representation of our children in Bhutan. This is a national dress that we wear. We call it Go, by the way, and I'm wearing the same also, Go. In terms of education, the literacy, formal literacy is about 60%. That is above the age of 18 years. Talking about culture, we are very famous for our development philosophy of gross national happiness, which is popularly known as GNH. And this focuses mainly on balancing material well-being with the emotional, cultural, and the spiritual needs of the people. This is the national dress. The dress men wear, we call it Go. The dress of women, we call it by the name of kira. And these are very colorful, woven from different materials and with unique patterns across. In terms of architecture, it's very distinctive, and we have very unique motifs and designs, as you can see in this picture. This picture is the fortress, which is commonly known as zongs here in Bhutan. The most popular festival that we have in Bhutan, this is called the marks dances, and these are performed during the Sechus, which is popular festivals in Bhutan. I'll not spend much time in the overall context of Bhutan, but maybe I spend more time related to banking and financial systems. This is the musical instrument that we use here in Bhutan. And this is the cuisine or the food that we normally eat. So you can see it is very spicy. Most are with chilies. And we are popularly known for carbon negative or environmental conservation. And Bhutan is the only carbon negative country in the world. And we are popularly known for that. And our forest cover is 71% as of now. And constitutional mandate is 60%. This is the national sport of Bhutan, the archery, traditional archery, basically. Our national language is Dzongkha, but we have 19 dialects across the country. And this is the economy of Bhutan. In terms of GDP per capita, it is close to about 4,000 USD. And overall GDP is about 3,000 million USD. Now, going into the overall financial system and the banking system of Bhutan, we have in Bhutan banking institutions, non-banking, insurance companies, and one pension management company. So these are the details of the financial systems in Bhutan. In the banking area, we have 6, BOB, Bhutan National Bank, Bhutan Development Bank, which focuses mostly in the rural areas. And we have 2 private banks, purely private, Group PNB, an FDI company, and T-Bank. Capital market is very, I would say, the premature, because we just have one security exchange company which manages just the domestic capital market. Insurance, we have 2 main insurance and 1 the reinsurance company. Pension fund, like I mentioned, we have 1 pension fund company which manages the pension of the civil service mostly. And other financial services, we have small investment company, brokers. Then we have 5 micro insurance company, micro lending companies. So capital market, again, deep diving into capital market, the stock exchange of Bhutan is the only company which manages the capital market in Bhutan, and there are only 18 domestic companies listed as of now. And capital trading of the shares in this capital market is not really active. In terms of trade and FDI, Bhutan's GDP consists of 70% from the trading activities. And we export mostly hydropower, ferrosilicon and dolomite, those natural resources. And imports are mostly fuel and machinery, because we don't have any companies which produces machinery and equipment here for any kind of activities. And our trading partner main is India, but we do import from Bangladesh and Europe as well, Nepal and China as well. Just taking you to the FDA policy, the priority areas are agro-based production, forest-based. So these are the areas where government tried to attract more FDIs, and government allows about 74% for all these activities for the foreign investors. And there are negative lists where we cannot export as well. These are endangered species, wildlife products, and religious items. Going to the FDA annual report, just to give you some insight into this, Bhutan has attracted about close to 600 million USD as of date, investing in 108 projects. And most of the investments, FDA investments, are in hotel sector, because we are known for tourism destination, and hotels are the areas where the FDIs feel that they have opportunities. And just in 2023, the capital inflow was about close to 100 million USD. And as of now, these FDI companies are employing about 4,300 people. Just to highlight on the strengths of the country, we are known for peace and a very stable governance. And we are also popularly known for culture and environment, being the carbon negative country. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, we are located just in between two big giants of the Asian countries, China and India. And we produce quite a lot of hydropower, and the price or rates of electricity is quite reasonable here in Bhutan. And we are popularly known for GNH, gross national happiness. And everybody in Bhutan speaks English. May not be very fluent, but we do speak English across. In terms of economic growth, areas and investment opportunities, hydropower is one. The projection for Bhutan's hydropower production in another 10 years is about 10,000 megawatt, and we are at the 2,000 megawatt just now. So the government is really trying to push the hydropower production. And cottage industries, we have small industries, and government is supporting investment in these areas. Mining, we have very few minerals like dolomite, but these are all managed by the state-owned enterprises. And tourism is one very good opportunity for the investors, because we are popularly known for preserving and conserving the environment. And Bhutan is, I would say, and everybody believes that it's a very peaceful country with rich natural resources and green scenery across. Very recently, Bhutan also started exploring investments in the solar field, because we experience very clear sky year round, and then we get lots of sunlight. So because of that, we see lots of opportunities for us to harness the solar energy, and government has started investing in these areas. And wind is energy and another source that we are exploring. And of course, the country started exploring even hydrogen as well. But this is just in the initial stage, starting phase, and we are not very sure how much we can benefit from these resources. This is one area where His Majesty himself is driving the project. It is located towards the south of the country, and the name of the place is Gelihu, and this city is conceptualized by His Majesty the King himself, and he is trying to establish a special administrative region there with distinct characteristics. Like one is trying to integrate mindfulness in the city, and also trying to make it a sustainable city, unlike the other special administrative regions like Hong Kong and other areas. And the city will also be blended with the Vajrayana spiritual systems, focusing more on health and education. So the specific about Bank of Bhutan. Bank of Bhutan was established in 1968. This is the 56th year since its establishment, and we are the oldest bank. Our mission is to provide efficient, transparent, and comprehensive and very secure financial services to the Bhutanese. And vision is to be the premier financial institution of the country. We have our core values. Core values revolves around this I care, which stands for innovation, customer-centric, accountability, relationship, and excellence. I'll not go into details about this because these are very generic, and we try to plan our activities based on these values. So just to again share a brief history about BOB, Bank of Bhutan. It was established, like I mentioned, in 1968. It is the oldest bank, and it was the central bank till 1982. And it was also the only commercial bank till 1997. So this is the old office of BOB. New office, we are located in Thimphu. This is in Prinsaling, which is again towards the south of Bhutan. Since 1971, this is the history of the shareholding. And as of now, SBI owns 20% of Bank of Bhutan, and rest is government. In terms of network and reach, we have 38 branch offices across the country, with another 253 agents across, and 90 ATMs. We are trying to minimize or reduce ATMs because of the digital impact. And we have about 435,000 customers as managed by 747 people. these are the products and services that we offer. These are the basic ones and the core business of BOB. Going into interesting figures, in terms of the transactions, if you refer to look at these numbers, almost 99% of the transactions are happening digitally. So we have, I would say, achieved a lot in terms of digitizing or digitalizing the whole services of the bank. Over the counter, we just have about less than 1%. And as you can see, we I think have progressed a lot in terms of digitalizing the whole banking services. In terms of market share, we are still the number one in both areas. In terms of lending, we are at 36% as of June. In terms of deposits, we are at 43%. So we are still the leader. And these are the critical ratios that I wanted to share to the audience here, because these numbers speak quite a lot of progress of BOB since 2020, since COVID, I would say, because 2021 and 22 we were experiencing COVID. And if you refer to ROE, our ROE was only 1.2% in 2020. Now, close June 24, our ROE crossed 16%. So we are progressing very well. And these are possible because of the efficiency that we are trying to bring in through different measures and systems. You can see here, again, the yield is quite impressive. Our yield is always hovering at about 8.5%, and our NIM is above 4%. So we are doing good, I would say. And lastly, I'm almost done with the presentation. I would like to open up this discussion to the audience here later, because we are really driving into producing more energy related to hydro one, then other one is in solar sector, then the next is in wind, and probably in future, maybe a few years down the line, we are also seeing opportunity for hydrogen related energy as well. And like I mentioned, Gilifo Mindfulness City is another area where I personally see quite a lot of opportunities for foreign banks, foreign business, foreign businesses, I mean. And even I personally see for investment banks coming here in Bhutan to manage the finance of the people when they come to Gilifo Mindfulness City. And I have mentioned derivatives business as one because we don't have any hedging services as of now here in Bhutan. So this could be one of the areas where we could try to discuss and then see how we can try to collaborate together and help each other.
Very good. You gave us a lot of information to digest. And in fact, we have many questions already here on the board. I would like to start with one very interesting question from the audience. This is an anonymous participant. He says, I thought that the Bank of Bhutan was the central bank. That was the situation before?
Yes, till 1982.
Okay, so then you separate one became the private and one became the government bank?
We became BOB, then starting from 1982 became purely a commercial bank, and central bank function was taken by the regulator, which was established in 1982 itself by the name of Royal Monetary Authority.
We have another question here, a little bit more elaborate. He says, he go right to the point. What investment opportunities are there for corporate investors?
I would say there are lots for corporate investors. One is in terms of tourism, because when I talk about tourism, there are lots of opportunities in terms of hotel industry. That is one area I think where I can see lots of opportunities for corporate investors to come in. The other area is in terms of energy generation. That is, be it solar, be it hydro, even in terms of wind, whatever viable projects that they can see.
Okay. Now, if they're interested in investing in these projects in Bhutan, do they have to work with you since you are the largest bank in Bhutan?
It's not necessary because they can opt for different entry mode. One is they can partner with any of the businesses here and then come and then start their investment plans. But on the other hand, what BOB bank can do is we can facilitate, because we know the market here, we know the opportunities here, and then we can facilitate to bring in the investments here.
Now, let me follow up with that question. It says, do the government have priorities?
Yes, because there are incentives also. One is, like I mentioned, energy is the priority to export to India, because we have a huge market there in India, be it solar, be it hydro, any kind of energy. And next is agro-based and forest-based industries. These are the priorities of the government. So there are incentives as well in these areas. There is one question,
Yes.
which is which multinational corporations are already operating in the country. We have in the tourism industry like Aman, Uma, and all those big, I think, tour-related or hotel-related companies are here. And we have even Le Meridian, LM, operating here in Bhutan. Tourism-related, all.
There's another question here. Mining. How's the investment situation in the mining and natural resources?
Mining is, like I mentioned earlier also, it is a national resources, and it is taken care by the country itself. So this is not open as of now for private investors in Bhutan.
Okay. Okay. There is another question here from Ajay. He says, which investment banks are currently operating in Bhutan, if any?
We have none. That's why I thought this is one of the opportunities for the foreign investors to try, because with the SAR in plan, probably I thought this could be one of the opportunities for FDIs.
How does Bank of Bhutan ensures these banks are not used for money laundering and financing of terrorism and these kind of illegal activities?
Oh, okay. We have the systems in place, so we are okay in managing this, and I would say that we are compliant with all this and then protected. To our regulator also on a daily basis, so this takes care of the transactions related to this money laundering and CFT.
Yeah, but given that it's a small economy, is that really a risk?
You mean the money laundering?
Yes.
And I would say yes, because we never know. Being a very small economy, people may try to take advantage of And like I mentioned, Bhutan is a very peaceful country, and we never know if some people are trying to take advantage of the size and also the stability and peacefulness character of the country. So that's why we are very alert in this area, and then we keep on monitoring. And fortunately, as of now, we haven't experienced any yet.
There's another one here. Say, how does a national strategy focusing on G&H by Bhutan apply to the strategy of Bank of Bhutan in shaping business decisions and customer service?
GNH, it revolves around a few areas. One is in terms of environmental conservation. The other is in terms of preservation of culture and good governance. So we always try to keep these, we call it 4 pillars in mind while designing our plans, activities, and the strategies. So that way it is already embedded in the plan. And we also refer to national plans because national plans take care of all these values again. So by referring to this and then aligning our plans to national plans and also the GNS values, these things are taken care, I would say.
In your presentation, you talk about these questions. How many commercial banks are there in Bhutan?
As banks, we are 5. But in terms of lending business, we have other financial institutions like pension fund and insurance companies. So in total, there are 8 lending institutions in Bhutan, big ones, and 5 microfinance institutions. So these are microfinance are very small.
How about counterparty relationships? This is a officer from Sampat Bank of Sri Lanka. Probably they should contact you after
Sorry,
this
Nick, if you
webinar.
could elaborate this question, counterparty in a sense?
Yes, this is a CRO, credit risk officer of Sampa Bank from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And he would like to establish some relationship with your bank. So,
okay. I think we are open. We are open because we are trying to establish relationship across so that we can facilitate the trade activities across. So BOB is open for that. Thank you.
I will try to get the email after this webinar and then pass to you. Now, there's another one about the 99% transaction of through mobile. It's like, what is the distribution of this between retail and corporate business?
Because we have digitized almost all the services other than the onboarding the new customers. We are digitized fully because we have internet banking, we have mobile banking, we have remittance services in digitized. So I would say that everything is taken care, even for corporate and retail.
Good, very nice. Okay. Also, a second part of these questions. What is your focus? What are your focuses area for additional digital adoption to drive growth?
One area that we are looking at is how can we adopt AI and data-driven areas to take care of the needs of the clients. So that area we are really and seriously pursuing, but we never know when we can achieve that.
Everybody's going AI right now, and we have a lot of demand here in the association. Which Indian companies are in Bhutan specializing in the hydro and solar energy?
We didn't have the investments in the hydro and solar, but recently I think we are now trying to get, and Tata is already starting their partnership with our national energy company. And there is again Adani who is trying to come in, but we I think haven't firmed up the decision yet.
Well, Adani is in electricity and power plants.
Yes.
So they have a lot of carbon, so you have to watch out.
Okay. But we need, I think, in terms of environment and the climate the protection, I think we have very good policies in place, so we should be okay to manage, and they will have to operate in those uh, conditions, even if they come here to invest. So
I,
should be, I would believe that we should be okay to manage.
I expect that your ESG regulations are very strict to maintain your negative carbon footprint.
Correct, yes.
In terms of FDI, what is the repatriation policy?
As of now, it's a bit restrictive. That's why I think we are not getting uh, the required FDIs here. But government is reviewing this seriously, and then we are hoping that it will be opened up completely. Because if the foreigners, the foreign investors are not allowed to take whatever they earn from here, then that is some kind of, I think, the bottleneck for Bhutan to get FDI. So they have realized that. I mean, we have realized that, and then government will. I'm hoping that they will open up soon.
Related to this point in your presentation, you talk about a percentage. I think in the investment, you talk about 70 something percent.
Oh, 74%.
What is
Yeah.
that? What foreigners can own up to 74%, or how is that distribution?
Correct. Foreigners can own up to 75% of any investments that they make here in Bhutan.
Okay. And do they have an assigned partner, or they could be any partner or the government?
For example, if they come here to invest in hotel, they can own up to 74%.
Now, I have another question here about the opportunity in microfinance.
Microfinance, we have only 5, and these are very micro, I would say, because very small companies. And yes, there are opportunities because there are lots of unbanked population in the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
But having said this, the cost of managing microfinance will be quite high because because of the terrain, I would say, because Bhutan, we are mountainous. The country, it is all hilly region, so it takes a lot of energy for people to go and provide financing as well as do the collection.
If you have rural banking system in Bhutan,
We have one development bank which is purely owned by government. It's like a state-owned enterprise, and they try to provide rural banking services. But the reach is, I would say, not fully covered. So there are opportunities, but we may have to really understand, again, exploring the geography of the country.
here we have a more technical question. Maybe go into the speculation. He says, when do you expect that the Royal Monetary Authority will allow Bhutanese banks to become active foreign exchange traders?
I'm not sure because very recently the RMA has allowed us to accept deposits in foreign currency. So that is one good news to everybody, because Bhutanese can now have foreign currency account opened. But in terms of exchange, RMA has issued licenses to private money exchange operators also. So that way, I think it is open. Of course, there are limitations. I think you must be referring to that, because we can issue only limited foreign currency based on the regulations. So probably I think he is referring to that.
Can non-residents, this is a company, can a non-resident company be able to open a BTN Nostro account?
Yes, that is allowed. We provide that service.
And in terms of the currency, I mean, if they open, I mean, this non-resident can open an account, and this account could be also in a foreign currency.
Yeah, they can have both foreign currency as well as BTN, local currency account.
Yeah. And what foreign currencies are being allowed at this moment?
Only USD.
We still have questions coming. This is a very specific question from a Malaysian company. I think that they're asking business advice in this webinar. Do you consider, given that your market is closed, do you consider your operations expensive?
If we compare to the regional banks, we are, I think, at par across. Not really expensive, but I am comparing the financial markets of India and the region. There, I think the average lending rate is about 8 to 10%, and ours is almost in that range as well.
This is a question about trade. How Bhutan transport its products to foreign markets?
Oh, it is road, via road. And yeah, we don't have the air cargo. We just have one airport. That's why now with this Gelifu special administrative region coming, so we will be opening up the even air cargo system for that.
And if you go by boat, which port would you use?
Kolkata,
Calcutta.
mostly.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
West Bengal, basically.
Is Bank of Bhutan also in the insurance business?
No. Unfortunately, no. We tried getting license, but we could not because the market is already saturated here. We have 3 insurance companies here in Bhutan.
How many employees do you have? Oh, you mentioned that 700 something, right?
747. BOB, right?
Yes.
Bank of
BOB.
Bhutan.
Yeah. What is the cap rate for lending in Bhutan microfinance?
The lending rate goes as high as 20%, I think, for microfinance because their cost of fund is quite high. And like I mentioned, the collection is very expensive. So that's why I think it's quite high.
Now, I think we have time for 1 or 2 questions. This one is about the digitalization. It looks like you have digitalized the whole service quite well with your 99% service. And they say here, what is your challenge in this area? What is your next challenge?
When I talk about digitalization, in one way, we are proud to say that we have digitalized almost all the services, but we don't have the fintechs here in Bhutan. So we depend for almost all digital solutions with Indian fintechs. That is the real challenge that we are facing. It's getting difficult for us to get the required support services from the Indian fintechs. While we are trying to build our own capacity in the bank itself, again, it is getting difficult because we are experiencing major migration in the latest years. Our people are moving outside to work now because of economic conditions, because of other reasons. So that's the main challenge that we are experiencing as of now.
Let's see one last question. This one is about tourism.
One is hotel, ecotourism. We don't have technical capacity to build this kind of tourism here. So investment in these areas may be worthwhile. Ecotourism, I'm referring to maybe rafting.
We have 1 hour on this conversation, and we try to answer as many questions as possible. There were about 40 questions issued. Now, let's see if any comments that you would like to say now that we're about to close.
Nothing specific, but I'd like to, once again, thank ABA for giving me this opportunity to at least make Bhutan known to to the world through this forum, and Bank of Bhutan known to the world through this forum. And I really look forward to more interactive sessions or interactions with the audience to discuss and learn more about international banking standards and best practices across the world, so that we can apply here in Bhutan.